Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Rose and I'm on a debt-free journey. So in today's video, I'm going to be closing out my January income and expenditure report. I'll be taking a deep dive into all the essentials, all that I've done through January, make an assessment, and to see how well we did with managing our money for the month. Okay, let us start with the income section of the budget worksheet. The total amount that I used to budget for the month of January was $5,976. That consists of main income, which was $5,376, which was a portion of our December 31st income, because I split that income into two, take care of some of the bills that was due on December 31st, so as not to bring those over into the new year. Then family contribution for $600. The main income remained at 5,376. Family contribution was 300. Other income, which was from my bookkeeping, that's $1,000, and my debit card cashback rewards that I cashed out on January 1st was $400. All right, so that's a total of $7,076. All right, so let us get into the categories and to see how we managed there. Okay, I did not budget for savings, but after I budgeted, the unbudgeted amount was $266 that I used in the line item unbudgeted. So that's it right here. For this line item, unexpected non-emergency fund, the $400 from my debit card cashback rewards was used to start this unexpected non-emergency fund. This I went in details when I did my savings goals for 2025. So each month I'll be adding that whatever amount I get from card cashback reward so I can meet that goal. Sinking funds is being funded from the leftovers from the spending from the entire month. All right. So I will go over the savings once I'm done with all the expenses. So let's move into the expenses. All right. So for fixed expenses, let me just open all of these. Okay. So for fixed expenses, budgeted $3,147. Rent came in for the amount that I budgeted for that from that paycheck to cover the full rent amount. Water, trash, and sewer, I budgeted $160, but the bill was actually $212.89. So I'm over budget for this line item. All right. For security, I budgeted $78. Actual bill was $77.32. For rent and auto insurance, I budgeted $400. We paid $315.71. For cell phone, we are under by $1 and change. The budgeted amount was $300. The actual bill was $298.95. And that's the same case for internet. I budgeted $71 and the internet came to $70.25. That's a fixed amount. But when I budget, I just try to do it a little bit rounded. So it's easier for me to get all the money out. All right. For electricity, I budgeted $90. The bill was actually $92.17. So I'm over the budgeted amount here by $2.17. For gas, I budgeted $150. The bill was actually $171.71. And for life insurance, I budgeted $65, but I paid in advance. So I paid for February and March as well. So that's $185. All right, so I'm over the budgeted amount here by $120. And for gas, I'm over that budgeted amount by $21.71. Okay, so overall for fixed, I am over in that category by $110. All right, so let's move on to variable spending. For groceries, and I explained the groceries in my last video where I did the closing out of my paycheck number 2. I budgeted $400 for groceries. I am trying to see how best we can maintain monthly grocery budget for between $400 and $500 depending on the need. All right. So what I did on the 28th of January was to get some items because I was in the area where certain things that I needed was in that area. So instead of coming home, driving back to get them, I just got them there. So the overage here, which is 110.13, is going to be taken from my February grocery budget. All right. For fuel, I budgeted $200 and we spent $107.15. So the total that was budgeted for variable expenses was $600 and we spent 617 and tens. So I am over in this category based on the numbers here by $17.28. But if I should take out the amount that I spent from the February grocery budget, I'm not going to be over budget. But technically speaking, and looking at the numbers, it's showing that I'm over the budgeted amount. All right, so let's move into the debt obligation section. For auto loan number one, I budgeted $250. This was an error on my part, and I think it came about because in December we took the deferment. So the full bill would have been due on January 15th. So that's the reason why I had to pay the full bill here for $488 instead of a half payment for $250. All right. For auto loan number two, the budgeted amount was $230 and the actual was $230.94. All right. So a half was paid on December 31st and then the next half on the 15th. So that will complete the payment for the month. Okay. Moving along to personal loan one, which was also just a half of the payment. The actual amount was $620 and 37 cents. Personal loan number two was budgeted at $384. That's a half payment as well. And the total was $383.16. Okay. For credit cards, I budgeted $450 for the month. The actual was $432 and 78 cents. I did an extra net payment for $400 to meet that obligation on the Best Buy card to avoid the accumulated interest. All right. So for the debt category, I budgeted $1,936 and I actually spent $2,555.33. For miscellaneous, the total subscription for the month was $27. I budgeted $27, but the actual spending on subscription for the month of January was $26.97. So for right now, my miscellaneous category is only housing or carrying my subscriptions. Total expenses for January that was budgeted was $5,710 and the total savings and reserves was $266. So that equals the $5,976 that I budgeted here, total income. Okay, so with the actual total expenses was $6,456.58, and total the actual that was put into savings and reserves was $605.14. So that's an overall total of $7,061.72 of the total actual it was $7,076. Now, if you look here, I have this $14.28 that is shown in red. And why I put this in red is because after I did my reconciliation for all the bills that were taken out from all the accounts, and I moved the money to let's go to the savings section, savings. And I moved the 205.14 into the sinking funds. This 205.14, when I closed the paycheck number two budget, there was $95 and a penny left in the account. However, because I'm taking back the amount that I spent for groceries to put back into the sinking funds or the unbudgeted amount, which was $110, $10.13. That made this $205.14 here. So that's all that I had in the account, and I cannot see where this extra $14.28 is coming from. And I've checked off all the transactions in the account already. So I'm just going to leave this $14.28 here because I'm not sure why the spreadsheet is off in comparison to closing out the bank accounts. All right. So just to do a run through, from the budgeted income, I brought in 1,100 more than I initially budgeted. For savings and reserves, I set aside $339.14 more than I actually thought I would be able to. However, for fixed expenses, I am over the budgeted amount by $110. And for variable expenses, I am over by $17.28. And I already explained that already. If I did not make the extra purchase on the 28th, then I wouldn't be over in the variable expense category. For debt, I am over by $619.33. That is good because there are extra debt payments here. And for miscellaneous, I am under the budgeted amount by 3 pennies. All right, so total expenses budgeted in comparison to total expenses that was actually used is $746.58 difference. So that right there is a combination of the extra debt payment as well as the fixed expense category where some of the budgeted amount was actually more than I forecasted. All right. So that's it for closing out my January income and expenditure. Thank you all for sticking around until the end. I hope that this video was insightful and useful to you. If you found this video helpful, please consider to give me a thumbs up and don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more budgeting videos. Also to follow me on my journey, all right? And if you have any questions, comments, please don't forget to leave me a comment and ask your questions, make your suggestion. I will definitely appreciate any input and I will definitely be responding to all your questions. All right? So until the next video, keep managing your money wisely, keep tracking, keep budgeting, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.